stock springs. You see I can kind of push this down a decent amount. Stock spring. This is the stock steel retainer. Comes with it. You got your assembly like this. These are the BCs I upgraded to at first. I believe these are the BC 0300s, but these aren't the HDs. I run 272 BC 272 cams, and unbeknownst to me at the time, they actually recommend running their HD version. So this has a seat pressure of 80 pounds, and I believe the HD versions have a seat pressure of 105, I believe it is. So I'm thinking, again, this is why I think this is kind of where my issue came from. A valve float with these. So we're gonna sit this here for now. Then, scanning what we got is the actual BC 0300 HDs. So we got it here. First thing, I got titanium retainers. I'm gonna open one of these real quick. Now I'll pull up the scale so we can kind of see the difference this is gonna make too, but I can feel this in my hand. This is so much lighter. So the titanium over this steel, and it covers a little bit more surface area on the top. A little bit bigger. So got the titanium retainers. I'll be running these. And also this is the HD spring. So like I can kind of compress it, but if you notice the difference here, this one sits a little bit higher. So I think that height is actually kind of what's adding that seat pressure. So this is what I'm swapping to. It does feel a little heavier, a little tougher too than the normal ones, but it looks like a slightly slimmer spring, but it's definitely taller, so that's gonna make up for that. So just wanted to show this comparison of all three. Again, you got the stock. Got my stocker right here. It's original BC, and here's the HD spring. So again, you can kind of see a slight height difference on the other ones. And obviously the spring, this one's smaller coil, thicker coil, and then it's the height there. But I can push this one down, also not really, and slightly. So these will be the springs I'm going to be running. Again, titanium retainers as well. And this is in the BC. This is the BC 0300 HD kit. This comes with the retainers and the springs. I forgot what it is for just the springs or just the retainers, but this is what I'm gonna be running. And then got some products from GSC as well. So this is a set of their intake valves. It's the exhaust valve. So the exhaust GSC 2061-12 is the exhaust. These are standard 29 millimeter. And then GSC 2062-12s are the intake size. So let me show this real quick before my battery dies here. So here's the intake and the exhaust. So again, these are stainless steel. You see they're also undercut. So this little portion right here that's kind of cut a little slimmer at the stem. It's supposed to give a better flow characteristics right there. So again, this is compared to the stocker. Stock intakes. for GSCs. Stock exhaust for the GSCs. Heights and sizes should be exactly the same. But even at the stem, you can see it's cut a little shallower. And again, that's kind of back cut to help promote that airflow. And it should be stronger. If these have issues, they should bend instead of break. So yeah, that's my valve train upgrade. I'm gonna go ahead and lay this stuff out, and then I'm gonna actually go ahead and start assembling this head. All right, y'all, so this is everything I got, right? I showed you the GSC valves. They're all laid out. Then I got my springs here, titanium retainers. I got new seals as well. These also GSC seals, I just showed that. And then obviously the actual keepers as well. Got a new set of keepers. I kept the stock ones, they were fine, but just in case. Sometimes I hear people say the stock keepers work better, but these are GSC brands, so I'm gonna see how those work as well with all this stuff. So this is everything. Sorry, not looking down. This is everything. Set keepers, springs, valves. Yeah. All right, this is the head. Back from the machine shop. Did a little porting. Just get that casting flare shop was nice and cleaned. I had it decked. They took off 5/1000ths, but other than that, it looks clean. It wasn't too bad. Like I said, I had to take off his 5/1000ths. Right now, again, like I said, I'm just getting ready to put these springs and valves in. So I got everything kind of cleaned up right now. See, I got everything kind of got some lube on there, lube inside the actual valve guides, so it should be good to go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get to putting springs in. So I'm gonna clean up. Remember, these are all the retainers from the seats. So the seats for the springs. I'm gonna go ahead and clean all these. Obviously, this is aluminum, so you don't want that spring digging in that. So this is just like basically a little thin washer that sits in between there to stop it from cutting into the aluminum. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these up and then put them in. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I got that seats in. I'm gonna go ahead and install these retainers. The socket fits perfectly over it, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get these on. And then I'll go get the valves in, get the springs in. All right, I'm gonna show you how I do it, putting these springs in. So I put the seals in using this tool. Notice here it has a spring pointer. So what'll happen is, I usually do a cylinder at a time, so I'm gonna take these 4 retainers off. Right here, right? So I have been putting a similar lube just on the base and the top of the spring, just because that's what's gonna be touching and rubbing. So I just put some top here. I already coated the inside of where the buckets will be at. And I'll put some on the buckets themselves too, though. So put the springs inside there. I like using the Permatex Ultra Slick. I don't know, I like this one better. I have the red line too, but I like that better. So that's that. So I'm gonna need 8 keepers. So I'm gonna go ahead and count my keepers out. 8 keepers. I actually lube these as well. And then what I'm gonna doing is I'll loop the keepers, and I'm gonna literally sit the keepers inside the retainer. Obviously make sure you put them in the right direction. Boom, they're in this like this. When you put them in there together, they're not gonna fall out. Simply I'm gonna take this tool, the point, gonna stick between the keepers, hold them in place. Still got the spring action here. I'm gonna try to do this one time without messing up. You literally gonna just put the retainer, springs, keeper, or retainer and the keepers on top of the spring with the tool, and essentially you're just gonna push down. The spring action, as you push down, when it hits the actual valve, that spring's gonna go in, allow the retainers to actually open up around the valve. Once you get it past, the valves will close back up, locking it in. You can do this if you don't have the normal, like, they have the bolt-on type kit you can use to get the springs out. I don't have that, and I'm not about to buy it, so this is my method. Stock springs and 80 pounds, this was pretty easy. I literally put on here, I just took the mallet and boom, hit it one time. I didn't even really need the mallet to get them on or off, but these are a little bit, 105 pounds, a little bit more power applied, so I'm going to try that. Let me put my gloves on first because it does require some force. I'm gonna do this one time, maybe two, just to show you how I do it. I do kind of try to get to the side so I can look and make sure that the retainer's lined up with the actual valve. And then that's it. So that's how that goes. So obviously before I do that, I'll get the valves in. I'm missing one key part. Intake side, again, stainless steel GSC valves. I do the same thing with these. I just coat them a little bit with a little assembly lube on the actual stems. And then obviously the trick, I just got this hat. I just got balled up and I stick it in that cylinder, that compression or combustion chamber. Push down, so now that's keeping the valves from popping down when I hit them with this, or when I push them in with the install tool. Now we'll try this one time. This is a lot harder than getting that tool, but I'm not gonna buy it, so. Only because of these valves though, these springs. Boom. That's it. Cool. That was this one. So you see it's in there. And we're good to go. So I tried. Alright, head's all done. Just showing you guys. Try to clean it up as best I could. Like I said, I didn't do it crazy. I didn't really do a port job. I just kind of tried to smooth out that casting. Kind of that looks like this normally, or this casting here. It was inside there, so I tried to smooth that out as best I could. Again, I wasn't going too crazy. GSC stainless steel valves in. Intake and exhaust. And then I'll show you top side. Then the exhaust side, try to do the same thing. And smoothed it out a little bit. I didn't go too crazy on the exhaust side. And then of course, again, I have the BC hardware, so see here, I got the titanium retainers. BC titanium retainers, BC springs. These are the, I think, 105 pound seat pressure springs. GSC retainers on the GSC valves. It's looking pretty good. I like it. I just want to show a comparison of the heads. Again, this is what came off clearly, as you can tell. All brand new over here. They're pretty good to go. So cylinder head solved. All I do is move all the stuff off the accessories like the water neck, cam sensor, that type stuff. I'll move that over. Then of course I got to do my check for the shims, the buckets, all that stuff. You see like how I kind of ported these a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, I think I'll probably just throw this thing in the trash. Engine still over here. Again, pistons, rods all out. I will show you this is my replacement piston, so it's not the same piston. I had an Icon piston, however, this is similar in weight, and it also has a skirt coating, just like the Icon does. And of course, remember I bored it over to 87 millimeters, so it's also bored over. So there's the 87 millimeter ISCO piston. Has the side skirt coating. This is the AP, so it has like some kind of different anodized top, which is similar to what the pistons had on there. They had an anodized top. So this is this part number. The good thing about this is they sell these separately as a piston. So this does have the wrist pins on this aren't as, I had the 2-inch, I think a 2 whatever it is, wrist pins on that. So I'm gonna take that wrist pin out and put it in this one. Other than that, man, it should slide back in and it should weigh pretty much roughly the same. I'm gonna weigh everything out on the scale though, just to make sure I'm not throwing anything out too much, but we should be pretty good to go.